the immortal John Hancock. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who wished me happy birthday. I'm just here on this video to talk about some of my recent game finds. I didn't do a pickups video from Cowlitz, and so I'm going to showcase some of the things that I picked up. What a great show. It's definitely coming into its own. It's growing, and it surprised me, which honestly I thought, gosh, you know, I've done the show a long time with some friends, and it surprised me how many people turned up, and just want to thank all the people that supported it. So here we go. Here's some recent game pickups. Yeah, got some interesting stuff. So one thing I get asked all the time, what do you still collect? I collect a lot of different things. A lot of it now is box upgrades to things I already have, or odd stuff that's so bizarre that sometimes gets donated to me. So we'll start off with the first thing. This is kind of a bizarre game system, kind of trivia / game system, and it's the Game Wave. And I want to thank Richard Thomas. Richard Thomas is a friend of mine. He came up to me and donated this at Cowlitz. And so Game Wave, if you're not familiar with it, it was a mid-2000s game system. It didn't have many things come out for it. So I have 5 of the games. One of these games came from Josh Kemp, who's another friend of mine, who donated Letter Zap. I would like to do a video of this system. I'm waiting to get the other games, so if you have any Game Wave stuff, let me know. I have the system. I'm missing an extra 2 controllers, and the box. I'm missing VeggieTales, and just some of the games other than these. So if you know of any place that has them cheap, let me know. I always like to do a video of Bizarre, and that's the system. There you go, that's the front of the system, Bizarre. It's pretty much just a DVD player with some remotes that act like a controller. But I'm happy to do a video on that. Anyways, enough of that. Of course, had to pick up tortoises. So tortoises, with the help of my good friend Josh Byerly, who made the box for this, and John Riggs, who assembled the carts. John Riggs did a video on his channel about tortoises. There was 5 green carts, and of course, you know, all proceeds go to charity. It's sold out. I don't know if I'm going to do another run of it. It's the remaining carts went on Nintendo Age. We'll see. Anyways, but there you go, tortoises. It's a great little game. Nice to add a homebrew to the collection. All right, what else we got here? Okay, let's talk Atari. I love myself from Atari, and David Evans, who was a vendor at Cowlitz, hooked me up with a really nice shaped blackjack, and you know, it's one of the original Gatefold 9. I'm missing a couple Gatefold 9. I love collecting box Atari stuff, and adding that to the collection is super nice. I also collect stuff if the card itself is in better shape. He had a stupid cheap price on this game, and so I picked up an old Atari game, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Again, wasn't that much. Thank you so much, David Evans. I have Fast Eddie, but my cart wasn't as in great shape, and so I got another one for I think like $5. Anyways, uncommon game. Anyways, I love that it has the original sticker on that. That is so cool. I mean, these games just came out and did not sell. So I love, even though I have a box of this, my insides aren't as good. More Atari. Same thing with summer games. There's some packaging materials inside that I didn't have, and so I picked this up. But these 2 boxes for Atari I didn't have. And it's just one of those things, you know, people ask, well, what are you missing? I'm missing a lot of things. A lot of uncommon and rare box 2600 stuff. It's hard to find, or nobody cares. And so I got a really nice box Cubert, and it's in really good shape. I love 2600 Cubert. Really, it's a great game. And this one, really happy to get this. I got this again from David Evans, and he does have the original price sticker on it. It's a really nice box Popeye for 2600. It's in really good shape. And so, really cool. I mean, it's in really good shape. Gotta get a protector on that. Scored some other interesting things. Got Power Rangers Super Legends 15th anniversary. I played this game. It was kind of cool. Picked it up. Actually, a kid was selling it, just going around to vendors and selling it. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that game, but I thought it was kind of cool that he was kind of making his own money at the show by bringing stuff. And so I did that a long time ago. So half the reason I purchased it, because I think, you know, he was happy to make a sale, and he was just going to go spend it at another table. So I have some Genesis games, not many, probably a dozen or so that have some sun fade, and that was from when my games were in California. Even though they weren't near a window, for various reasons, I picked up some of my Genesis stuff as a rental store, and I noticed that some of it did have sun fade. Over the decade, I've replaced most of it, anything that had any damage, but there was a couple sports games that were really good shape at Cowlitz. David Crane's Amazing Tennis, really good shape, nice and bold coloring still on the artwork, which is really tough over time, especially with sports titles. Just they were typically at rental stores, and they were always sun faded. And then Super Volleyball, and Super Volleyball for Genesis, for people that don't know, there is a label variation, and this version is in really good shape. Like, you can open it up, and the manual and cart and stuff are in really good shape. So I love getting that stuff. I love getting, you know, games in great condition. You know, as time goes on, I get a little bit more picky about my collection, and I kind of don't want to just add anything. And so I'm trying to pick up stuff that I care about, or, you know, has some sentimental value. That's why I love Atari. You know, it's not really about playing every game at Atari. Like I was talking about this on Metal Jesus' channel, that, you know, the artwork really captures some neat things about the 80s and the 70s about 2600. I love collecting it for that reason. And it just, there isn't anything else like it. I love collecting it for that reason. Alright, I got a couple other interesting things. Okay, I'll do the PlayStation 4 and Vita stuff. There was a gentleman at the show. We did a trade, and I got some limited run games. Now, I don't collect a ton of limited run games, but, you know, if I can get them, you know, I haven't added too much to my Vita collection, which is pretty sparse. And so I got Volume, and I got one Mystery Chronicle One-Way Heroics. And that looks like kind of a fun game. Still sealed. I'll check it out maybe down the road. That's cool. You know, a nice thing about Vita games, they don't take up too much space. I just picked this up online, this next thing, and this is Hyperlight Drifter, and it is on physical. Now, there's only going to be 9,000 copies of this. Who knows how many people are going to pick this up, but it's only 30 bucks, and it's at I am 8-bit, and, you know, I'd get it now. I wouldn't wait on this. It comes with some extra goodies, reversible cover, and yeah, it looks like a cool game. I got this recommended to me, saying, hey, it plays a little bit like Zelda: Link to the Past, and sure, check it out. Let's do it. And that looks fun. I just I try to support, you know, some of these indie games that go on physical media. I think that's really neat. Hopefully the Switch will get some of that. Only time will tell. But what I do notice is PlayStation 4 is getting a lot of it, and it's pretty neat. I kind of dig that, and I'm not necessarily collecting PlayStation 4. It's going to have a huge library, but I want to collect stuff as I go along, you know. And this looks like a neat one. You know, it's got some really cool artwork, and the footage I saw online looks pretty neat. John Riggs, who helped out with Cowlitz Gamers, the Tortoises game. On his channel, he talked about he was doing a special run of Altered Beast on Tenga and Kart, and so he had a special board made for this because a normal board that runs this game doesn't fit in a normal shell or a Tengen shell. So he had some custom made, and I picked up one. This is a pretty interesting version of Altered Beast. I didn't know a lot about it. Has some extra levels, including a level where you turn into a shark, which isn't on any other version. Pretty interesting. definitely wanted to check that out. And I'm just thankful for. There's a lot of people out there that view and have said really nice things or donated stuff to my channel. I'm just overwhelmed sometimes with when people do that, because it's crazy what people do to support what I have collected over years, and they see my collection and they want to give more to it. Thank you. So Josh, hopefully you're watching. Josh donated something really special. Thank you. I'm blown away. He's like, hey, watch your channel, huge fan. Dude, you're missing an Ouya, and I, as you know, huge Ouya collector. I know a lot of people make fun of it. That's okay. I am a fan of the system and the potential, what it could have done. He just gave me, that's right, the Kickstarter Ouya, which I was missing. I'm only missing two that I'm pursuing. So thank you so much for donating that. It's like brand new. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm ecstatic. Super excited about that. In the original box, the Kickstarter version, I have now the engraved version, the standard silver, the bronze. I'm missing the development unit, which that's going to be pretty hard to track down. And the other thing I'm missing is the pearl white, and those are pretty hard to get too. But yeah, I collect that stuff, and so it's neat. So other thing, Josh Byerly, I am trying to get as many boxed ColecoVision games as I can. As you see in my back there, I have well over, I don't know how many I'm up to, but I'm getting close to about 100 boxed ColecoVision games. I have some crazy rare stuff, but some of these, again, the packaging inside was a lot better than what I had, and some of it had missing stuff, so I ended up getting Facemaker for the packaging inside, and Fraction Fever. Again, these are just simple educational games, but they're in really good shape. And so the goodies, as my good friend Rick Weiss calls it inside, it makes it worth having everything complete. And so it does bug me if I know a game came with something and I don't have it part of one of my games. That bugs me, and so I try to pursue that. Other things, yes, but wait, there's more. Again, I had a humble budget at the show. A lot of these games were either traded or donated or purchased. A lot of these games were, except for the Hyperlight Drifter and Tortoises, many of these games were under $10, $5–10. So the Atari stuff I think was $3 to $5 a piece. So that's the cost if people were curious. So Pink Gorilla, Seattle, Washington, great store. They have supported Cowlitz for a long time, and it was great to have them at the show. And I picked up a box and manual for my loose cart because of Arcade's greatest hits, Super Nintendo. This is a great version of Robotron, one of my favorite. And the Super Nintendo controller plays awesome on it. It's fantastic. Other cool thing, there was another vendor, gosh, I can't remember his name, but I'm going after the Player's Choice Million Seller variations for N64. And got those. I had the box and manual I bought at the show to go with my loose cart. Excuse me. Super Mario 64. And of course GoldenEye 007. Anyways, the boxes were in good shape, and I'm up to over half of the million seller boxes and games. I'm missing some. I have some of the harder to get ones. I'm looking for more. I'd like to do a video on getting those completed. I'm going after a couple other subsets that are really hard to get right now. Sega Master System Blue Label variations. I'm missing a US Ghostbusters, and I'm also missing the manual for Rambo for the Blue Label variation and Enduro Racer. And those are the 3 games I'm missing for that set. Trying to pursue it, pretty tough. And one other thing, I did pick this up. This is at a recent GameStop purchase. and I heard it didn't work with the NES Mini. I would like to do a review of it, and it's the Edge joystick. And so I don't know if they fixed it. I would like to find out, and I am just going to do that on camera. So there you have it. There's some of my random picks, random pickups. It's all over the place. There's some good, there's some bad, and there's some terrible. But you know, for me, it's about representing video games in general across the gambit. I'm not really in particular focused on one genre or one system. It would just bore me to death because I would be super into it and then I'd get bored of it. So that's about as random as it gets for collecting you know, classic games and oddball stuff. What are you collecting now? Are you collecting anything? Have you gone to any recent shows? I want to know about it. Please comment below. I want to know you know, what you're into right now, or what you're collecting, or comments on the stuff I picked up. I do 2 videos a week, one on Thursdays, one on Sundays. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to support me there. All your contributions help me. It helps me fund, purchase things that I showcase on my channel. The nice thing about my Patreon is that you do get an exclusive video once a month that I don't release anywhere else. And so thank you to everybody who the wonderful comments that people have made from around the world. Gosh, you know, my dream would be to just do this full time and to travel the world and see places you know, around the world, Australia, Brazil, Ireland. I mean, I would love to go around the world and travel. That's not going to happen for a long time, but I dream about it. I dream about it, and I enjoy to think about, gosh, you know, there are people that do talk about video games and live on it. Now, my channel's nowhere near that, but I am just blown away by how much it's grown in the last year, and so I'm going to keep plugging away and doing what I want to do. But you know, what else would you like me to showcase and see? Sometimes I don't plan things ahead of time, and I have just a box of stuff in front of this camera right now that I want to showcase, and sometimes it's hard to like focus in on one thing and the time to set it up. Sometimes pickup videos are a little bit easier to do, and so my daughter's now in soccer, and so she's doing 2 practices a week and on the weekend, so I'm having a little bit less time doing videos. On top of, there's some upcoming events that I'm speaking at, so I'm preparing for that. So thank you so much. Long ramble. My hat's off to all my viewers, my fans around the world. This is the immortal John Hancock. Take care.